she got invested in Dragon Ball Super?
No.
Exactly. How much do you watch Dragon Ball Super now?
No.
No, seriously, we were watching the latest episode, and it ended, and the cliffhanger, she jumps out of bed and goes, "What? I can't believe that happened." And then she catches herself and looks at me and goes, "What have you done to me?"
It's a valid question.
It's my favorite thing we've ever done.
This is the weirdest relationship that we're witnessing.
It's okay, trick him into getting into sports or something.
That's true. Oh, that would be funny. March Madness is happening.
What is?
He can't even hear the terms.
Yeah, March
Madness. Is that like in March when you get angry because something didn't happen? I don't understand.
It's
horrible.
It's a thing in DC. They're gonna try to make everyone insane.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Horrible. Hey guys, we're live. We've been live for like a minute.
Hey.
Like 45 minutes.
All right. So what are we talking about today? What do we have? What are we going?
Oh, yeah.
What is happening? What?
Stop.
Well, Matt, how do you want to break it down?
Well, I mean, I don't know, Chris. How do we want to break it down?
I asked you first.
Yeah, but second is the best. I don't know.
Okay, well, as a warm-up, we can continue on this animated series list.
Yes. Why not? Let us start with that.
Let's get those brain juices flowing.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get this show on the road.
Oh my God.
What is wrong?
Hockey is awful.
Has she been drinking Josh fuel or something? What's going on over there?
What's happening?
Has she been drinking Josh fuel?
Yes. He's one with the Josh.
Yeah. All right. So to remind everyone who has not seen this or heard of this yet, we're going through IGN's top 100 animated series from 2009.
Oh yeah.
So there's some weird things and some things that probably shouldn't be as high or as low as they are.
Yeah, this list is awful.
From 2009, it is what it is.
It's not as bad as some other.
No, it's not as bad as the Cars list.
Even in the lens of a 2009 list, some of these choices are mind-boggling.
I'll agree to that. Some of them are very weird.
You guys start. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Bye. All right. So, number 49 is the original Thundercats.
Is that low or high? It feels wrong.
It's just precisely in the middle.
It doesn't feel like
for Thundercats to be.
Yeah.
You know. Like,
Well, I watched it maybe
right.
I watched it maybe 10 years ago, and I thought it still held up, but I don't know.
I think what's overall wrong is that the list is off. Like, this is over a bunch of stuff, and it landed in the middle. But I feel like this is what the fucking beginning of the list should have felt like. There's things like Thundercats should have been just eking it in.
Yeah.
But instead, we've got like that stupid space high school show.
Galaxy High.
Yeah. How was that? How was that a show?
Because it was the 80s. Of course it was a show.
Why was the 80s so awful? Where's that dinosaur? The dinosaur?
Denver the Last Dinosaur?
Denver the Last Dinosaur. Yeah.
I don't know if it's on this list. We'll check.
Well, here's my thing is, I'm wondering if Dinosaurs beat Thundercats.
No. Yeah. Where's
or if
Dinosaurs?
it's just not on the list.
Yeah. What is going on?
Irritating.
Space dinosaurs.
Where's
We'll find out. Guys, it's okay. We'll find out together.
Let's go.
Number 48 is Duckman.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I only know Duckman because it used to come on after Monday Night Raw on USA.
On USA.
I only know Raw because it used to come on before Duckman.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think I've ever seen an episode.
Oh.
You should check it out. It's good.
Yeah.
Number 47 is Pinky and the Brain.
Okay.
But wasn't that with Animaniacs?
It's a spin-off.
It used to be.
It got its own show.
How
Yeah.
awful was that show?
It was all right.
Okay.
Especially considering
No.
Maniacs had started sucking at that point.
I preferred them as the smaller segment as opposed to a full episode.
Yeah, because then it was Piggy, Elmira, and the Brain was the worst thing that ever.
Oh God, yeah, no. I'm sorry, we say
Pinky and Elmira
In the Brain? Yeah.
They added another
They
person.
just shoved that character into the...
yeah, Elmira from Tiny Toons.
I don't know why. I don't know if the voice actress needed...
That whole era was dying.
It's so strange.
Such a weird.
Anyway, yeah.
Number 46 is the Jetsons.
I mean...
The Jetsons fucking suck.
It was important, though.
Was it?
Kind of.
No.
It's similar.
It's the Flintstones, but like the future.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I feel like if there's any Hanna-Barbera on this list, it should be one per format because they would just repeat the same show ad nauseum. So
instead of having Jabberjaw or whatever, you have
Scooby-Doo beats all.
I will not listen to anyone besmirch Jabberjaw.
So
teen detective shows are beyond reproach.
why hasn't anyone brought out about the lack of diversity in Hanna-Barbera shows?
What are you talking about? There's always at least one black person in the show.
Not in the Jetsons.
No,
Okay, well that's different.
that has nothing to do with.
Then what
racism.
about the Flintstones?
It was just prehistoric times.
There were black people in the Flintstones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm almost dead certain.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, there's at least one black character. He's like Boney Armstrong or something.
Oh my god.
The 60s were very unenlightened.
Yeah.
No, the Jetsons fucking suck. 45 is Gargoyles.
Okay.
This feels pretty low for Gargoyles, frankly.
Gargoyles beating Thundercats, even though it is itself a.
Halle Berry does not count.
Oh no, that movie doesn't count.
Oh no, that's right. It's in like the newer Flintstone cartoon thing because you know how they kept making different ones. Like there's a teenage.
Yeah.
Like the Pebbles and Bam Bam and the Flintstone Kids.
Yeah. So there was a baby, the nerd.
All right, Chris. What'd I miss?
Oh, cool. Thanks for jumping in.
Oh, shush your face.
Philo Quartz. He's
We're talking about the five you missed are Thundercats, Milkman, Pinky and the Brain, and the Jetsons, and we're just on Gargoyles.
Okay, Gargoyles is the only one I would agree with. The others should be way lower. The others should be way lower.
I heard Gargoyles described on a podcast as Disney's Batman the Animated Series.
Wait, what?
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I heard it described as Disney's Batman the Animated Series.
I would agree. It was especially for a Disney show, it had serialized storytelling, which was like very rarely ever used for them. It was like one of the few shows. It was up there with like X-Men, and Spider-Man in the sense that every episode would end with a, to be continued. And it was one of the first shows that really hit me with the cliffhanger, right? And it always came on at the weirdest times, so I would never catch them in sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
will have you know, Philo Quartz was the black character in Flintstones, and he was the cop in the neighborhood.
Oh,
so that's forward, I think.
That is
what was he on the original Flintstones or like one of the later?
The original Flintstones, and he plays in Bedrock Elementary School. They revealed he was an inventor, a baby inventor.
Of course he was.
A giant baby nerd inventor.
Okay.
In baby versions of them, but yeah, it's a real character.
Number 44 is the Battle of the Planets.
The what?
G-Force, Battle of the Planets.
Oh, G-Force.
It's one of those anime that's been released 16 times.
Yeah, Alex Ross is a huge fan. It's one of those like you didn't know it was anime until you got older.
Yeah, but it was a mainstay on like Sci-Fi and USA.
Yeah, it's also maybe a generation right before us.
Yeah,
we don't.
I know I've seen it, but I can't tell you anything about it. So
I think it's Gen X's Voltron.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, yeah. I'll go with that.
Number 43 is Samurai Jack. I think Jack should be much higher.
Yeah, that should be higher in my opinion. That's
Yeah. Well, it's 2009. Hold on.
Jack was over by this point.
Oh, it was over?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. I was like, maybe it only had one season and they were basing it off that. But no, okay, that's fair.
No, I think Jack should be higher because I think its highs are higher than a lot of other animated shows.
Mm-hmm.
Its highs are higher than almost 90% of anything that's ever been a cartoon that was in America and not like an anime for adults cartoon, you know?
Yes.
Like, and then, you know, its lows are still better than most.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I don't know.
But do you agree, Chris?
I do.
You know?
Number 42 is the Powerpuff Girls, the original airing.
Okay.
They can just probably switch that.
Yeah, they could have switched that.
I liked the Powerpuff Girls, but I didn't watch it all in sequence. I caught up on it. It was always like on Cartoon Network whenever I was watching it.
Mm.
I thought it was fine. Number 41 is Tiny Toon Adventures.
Oh, good stuff.
I liked Tiny Toon Adventures a lot. I thought it was pretty fun, even though it was just Looney Tunes: The Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
Looney Tunes: The Next Generation.
Yeah, but not lunatics, just Looney Tunes. Number 40 is Batman Beyond.
Okay. Well,
Batman Beyond.
I think that is way too low. Batman Beyond was a phenomenal show, which was only made better by the Justice League tie-ins later on.
it's only really low because I feel like a bunch of crap is going to be above it. Like, I feel like if it was great from here on out,
No, this list is
I'd be like,
awful.
maybe Batman Beyond's where it's supposed to be.
I think it's maybe 10 places out.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
just like, okay.
Like, I don't know.
Matt, who's your favorite Batman Beyond villain?
Shriek.
Incorrect. The answer is Ink.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, you're right. Ink is way better.
I like.
Actually, I would also accept Karari.
Pretty great.
Shriek though is up there. I also liked I forget the name. The guy with the hypno orb, the Mysterio of
It was Spellbinder.
Spellbinder. Yeah, he was cool.
It was cool.
I didn't really care for the main guy that turned into the
Blight.
Atomic Skull, basically. Yeah, Blight. He had a cool name, but he was boring. He was just businessman who got evil powers.
The best episode is the Mr. Freeze episode.
Yes. No, that was good.
That was
Actually,
good.
I will say, you know what? Batman Beyond also has one of the best DC animated films. The Return of Joker
Yeah.
is fantastic.
It's super great.
It also has the best theme song, man.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was
The opening.
early days of the internet. I remember trying to download that song
Yeah.
and having to use Napster.
Yeah.
Try and find it, and then it would always be like a fake file. It would say it was it, and you play it, it was just screeches.
Oh yeah.
That was
a good
the song. Wasn't that the song?
Kids these days will never understand the pain of waiting 30 minutes for an MP3 file to download, only to find out that some asshole troll mislabeled it on purpose, and it is not the song you tried to download.
Remember when you would like set all kind of downloads in your queue in the morning, and then you just
Yep.
you just left for the whole day?
When you found out a whole album was in there,
and then
oh my god!
and then you came back home and you're like, oh, I got 20 more minutes on all these songs.
yeah,
This is pretty rad. I'm gonna go find something else to do.
Do you remember back in the day when Metallica was the most hated band because they ruined Napster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Metallica is still a hated band. If you listen to Metallica, you're a sad human being.
You're right. Be like me and listen to Nickelback.
Yeah. Precisely.
I don't even have to make fun
I
of
don't
that.
even know why you
Would
listen.
admit
The
why.
new Metallica album's pretty good. Go on.
Hey. You know who's even better than Nickelback? Creed.
Shut up.
With arms wide open.
All right, cool. Number 39 is Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, #1 in the hood, G.
I would actually rate it lower. I don't really care for Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Well, that's because, you know what, it was... Aqua Teen was like the first of its kind, that Adult Swim style humor.
Mm.
There is no plot. These people are just ridiculous, and the things that happen, no bearing on anything else that happens. The show was the first of its kind, and unfortunately, I blame Aqua Teen for Tim and Eric.
No. Tim and Eric's fault.
But they're the worst.
No, that's all on Tim and Eric. That has nothing to do with Aqua Teen. That has everything to do with Tim and Eric.
Adult Swim for Tim and Eric.
Well, you should blame the people
because it costs way less to do one of their shitty shows where nothing happens and it's just them staring at the screen for 45 seconds.
Where is Tom Goes to the Mayor on this list?
It's not, and it never will be.
Tom Goes to the Mayor was an awful show that was made by someone stenciling crayons.
Yeah, Tim and Eric made.
It wasn't even just a Photoshop filter. I had that filter.
You know what? The greatest moment in Comic-Con that we've ever witnessed is when we were at the Adult Swim Venture Brothers panel, and they said, "Hey, we've got a new season of Tom Goes to the Mayor and Tim and Eric," and the audience booed them out of the building.
It was amazing.
And then the guys tried to be like, "No, those shows are really good." And everyone's like, "Boo!"
We were dying laughing because you go to the Venture Bros panel, which is a show so good that it almost defies being on Adult Swim, and then they're like, and also we have Tim and Eric, and just the cascade of disdain was delightful.
That's when you got like fucking 12-ounce mouse and all that other shit. Just shit.
Yeah.
Just the worst animated because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
And there's some sort of thing where like they're barely paying anything.
There was a time where
right
I got really, really high and I watched 12-Ounce Mouse, and
it still wasn't funny.
Look, I'm just gonna say, 12-Ounce Mouse may be bad, and our friend Steven,
where is it on the list?
Would never forgive me for this, but you know what's worse than 12-Ounce Mouse?
Fucking Squidbillies.
Squidbillies.
Oh god, I forgot we were in a Squidbillies safe zone. I was like holding my tongue about Squidbillies because some people get real weird and defensive.
Really like
Squidbillies, which is a garbage show for garbage people.
Oh man! In chat, someone said those shows are to blame for the generation that decided to eat Tide Pods.
I mean, prove them wrong. Where's the lie?
There is no lie. Squidbillies can be directly lined up with the rise of Russia.
What?
What? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm trying to blame all of societal woes on Squidbillies. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's.
Hey Matt, you're gonna really like number 38.
What?
Number 38?
Yeah.
Is Naruto.
You fucking damn right it is, and that's 2009.
Why?
It just started, son.
Why?
Date Bayo.
Why?
So here's the one thing.
Naruto is Dragon Ball Z for a new generation, son.
What are you talking about?
Believe it.
I'm not believing anything.
That's clone jutsu.
Matt.
Stop.
Rasengan. I'm gonna be that Hokage.
Naruto is the Inuyasha of Death Note.
Matt.
Hold on.
I want to point out a couple of points because you know I love Naruto also.
Okay.
Number one, the very first sentence of this kind of undercuts every good feeling about it.
Okay.
It's the Japanese version of Harry Potter.
Actually, I'm okay with that.
No, it's not.
A bunch of kids going to ninja school.
It's not.
It is. A bunch of kids going to ninja school.
It's absolutely not.
I'll accept it.
No,
that's the Gaijin interpretation.
It's not. It's wrong. It's the wrong interpretation. Also, if there's a show that needs a Kai release, it's Naruto.
Oh yeah, I would love the filler cutout.
Let me tell you, I'm working on another podcast, and we're watching Dragon Ball Kai, and I had to watch actual Dragon Ball Z, and I felt like I was going to die because I had to watch 5 episodes
from
of
Kai to Z. Like you can't go back to Z after Kai.
Because I had to watch 5 episodes of Chi-Chi dealing with crabs. Oh, it fucking sucks.
Chris, we have the name of the episode. Doug,
I don't remember.
You said
Naruto is the Inuyasha of Death Note.
It's too late. The episode title can't be changed.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it can't be.
Start the broadcast. You have to
It's
name
a broadcast. There's no time to change it. It can't be done.
Can that be next week's?
Maybe. Remind me.
Fine, then I'll remind you.
Okay. Number 37 is Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
All right, that should be number 1.
It really shouldn't. I didn't like it because it was a talk show, and when it came on the air, I wasn't into talk shows. But I appreciate finding it now.
Oh my God, this was one of my favorite things to watch. Oh man,
This was my introduction to the whole Adult Swim concept.
oh, Space Ghost and Harvey Birdman.
And C-Lab.
Yeah,
E-Lab.
D-Lab 20.
C-Lab would be
21.
like number 5 or something.
Yeah, that was a masterpiece.
I'm afraid we already covered C-Lab in a
It
previous episode.
doesn't matter anymore.
It should also be number 5.
Number 36 is Superman, the animated series.
All right.
Was
That
garbage?
still got really good when they just made it a fourth world show.
What?
Yeah.
Superman.
Squidbillies. I keep talking about Squidbillies. It's on my mind.
Stop it.
No. Superman was great, but it was also in the grand scheme of that interconnected DC universe of shows between Batman, Batman Beyond, Superman, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. It was the weakest.
Yeah. Kind of.
But
I think-
that's not to say it's bad. It's just if I had to choose one, it'd be that one.
Until Darkseid shows up, it's really kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Once Darkseid shows up, it kind of ratchets to top tier, but that's only for like 5 episodes. So it's a tough call.
Yeah.
Matt, you and I both think this one's going to be much higher. Number 35 is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, what?
Why did you say it like
Hold on. Steven asked a question in chat, and it's a fair question. What is this list about? We found a list from 2009, and that's why this list is so terrible, partially, of the top 100 animated shows of all time. And this list is so terrible that we have to pick it apart because, first of all, Last Airbender is a top 10, top 5 show of all time.
Top 10 easy.
Easy. In fact, one list I read that was actually factual said it was number 1, and I was okay with that.
Debatable.
Fun fact, Chris and I's first trip to San Diego Comic-Con before the podcast, before anything, when it was just us being nerds, was specifically not because of comics, not because of video games, but because they were going to debut season 3 of Airbender at Comic-Con.
Oh my God.
Actually, no, that was year 2. We went before season 3. It was still season 2.
Yeah.
We just wanted to go because the creators and the voice actors were going to be there, and there was a huge panel.
It's one of my happier moments.
That's all I got.
And then we also dressed up as Fables characters.
That was fun.
That was the second year too. I get them all mixed up. Anyway, keep going.
Avatar should be much higher.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. None of this makes any sense.
Number 34 is Robotech.
All right.
Whatever. It's one of these 80s animes that showed up in a million places.
Has anyone ever finished watching that show?
I don't think so.
Ian Macross as well?
I mean, it just says Robotech, so it's got to be everything that under that banner.
No single human beings.
There's no time. That's like 20 series and like 50 goddamn movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they haven't watched any other anime ever.
Yeah.
Why it's the greatest anime?
There's no time.
Holy.
This one is bullshit. Number 33 is Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking about. How silly is it to have a list where Robotech and Schoolhouse Rock had to be decided between? In order, which one's better? What do you mean, which one's better? None of these fucking little 60s boomer kid TV shows would have made it if you were being realistic.
Yeah.
Like, that belongs on its own list. Best kids cartoons.
So I think about Schoolhouse Rock that there are segments of it that are very good, but not like as a whole.
It just, It's like imagine you did this with live action because that's basically what they're doing. They're lumping everything that has ever been animated and on a TV together. It's like what was better, Mr. Wizard or the X-Files?
Ooh.
Those are two shows that have nothing fucking in common.
Are you
about
sure?
Mr. Wizard, it is.
Here's the thing. The best thing about Schoolhouse Rock has been all the parodies that have come in the following years since Schoolhouse Rock ended.
Yes. It's a bill. Yeah.
Number 32 is Liquid Television.
Love Liquid Television.
MTV's Liquid Television, which had Aeon
But
Flux.
that was like a mixture of shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really don't like its position on this list at this point because it's not a show, it's just segments.
It's an anthology show.
Yeah.
With a bunch of different segments by different animators. Now it is a solid show because it's like I hate Aeon Flux, but I like Liquid Television.
Liquid Television was a gateway drug of shows,
including Beavis and Butthead.
It's like an incubator
yeah,
for animators.
The Max was on there too.
They're throwing this on there because then they can. No, Max is on Oddities, but
Oh, it was on, yes. Not on Liquid Television.
which is the most underrated thing that they did because it was Max in the head.
I only remember the Aeon Flux segments because I didn't really like understand Liquid Television when I was watching it. It didn't have anything that I was interested in as a kid. So
yeah, Aeon Flux is definitely the thing that would pop out at you as a kid. I think the rest was for like teens and 20-year-olds.
yes.
As far as target audience, Aeon Flux was the one where a chick's running around shooting people and you can follow it if you're like 10. Yeah.
The Max was on Liquid Television as well.
All right, moving on.
Number 31 is Muppet Babies.
That's like trusting a Napster.
Muppet Babies.
I do
This is way too low for this, I think.
You think it should be higher?
I'm sorry, this is way too high. This should be lower. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, I know this was on my cartoon VHS that I used to have, but I don't really remember a ton about it.
Yeah, it was.
Do you have any thoughts on Muppet Babies?
I mean, I love Muppet Babies.
I watched the shit out of it when I was a little kid. I thought it was. I've always like in retrospect. I remember thinking about it later, and it was like kind of super inventive because it was the Muppets as babies imagining things. So they would, every episode could be in a completely different place and a completely different story. They could be in a Western or they could be in a sci-fi story because it was whatever the little kids decided it was. Was. So that was kind of neat. And you never saw the adult. And it was kind of weird that they were all babies, but I think like even babies think babies are cute. So it's like this is a Muppet Baby segment in Muppets Take Manhattan, and it is the most adorable thing that's ever happened to a human being.
What an odd sentence.
Yeah.
All right, and finally the last one I think we can cover tonight. Number 30, Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The best Spider-Man cartoon.
Yes.
Which one was that?
That was the one that got really good for 2 seasons, and just like Wolverine and the X-Men, then Disney bought Marvel, canceled all existing shows, and moved all production in-house, so it died.
Was that the one that wasn't like the cell-shaded one? It was the one where Miles showed up, right? Eventually.
No, this is the one between the cell-shaded one and the one where Miles shows up.
Oh, okay.
Because there's been like 6 Spider-Man cartoons in like the last.
Yeah. In like 5 or 6 years, like it was like rapid fire. I couldn't even keep up with it.
Yeah. So this one is really, really great, and I highly recommend checking it out if you have not.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
It's spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
About a Spider-Man.
It had a fun theme song.
It says, is it Mr. Fantastic?
No.
No one is now.
Why not?
Because I said so. So yeah, that's the cartoon list that we've chopped through. Maybe we'll do the next 15 next episode.
Sounds good.
Yay!
Sweet. Matt, do you want to talk about comics?
Do I?
I asked you.
That was a rhetorical question.
Was it?
Answer is yes.
Okay, talk about comics.
Okay. What do we want to talk about?
Well, it's been a long time since we've talked about comics. Mostly because we had the big Marvel list that kind of took up everyone's time, and mostly because we just kind of got away from it. So let's kind of refresh and see where we are, comics wise.
I've actually been reading comics.
What?
Say what?
What have you been reading, Boo?
I picked up the Watchmen sequel.
Also, Kogasu's up in chat.
First couple of issues of that.
Have you never read Watchmen?
Huh?
Have you never read Watchmen before?
No, I've read Watchmen. I picked up the Watchmen sequel. Yeah.
Doomsday Clock?
Yeah. I was violently against this. I was against what was the
Before Watchmen?
Watchmen. But then it came out, and I was like, okay, I'm not even going to read it. I still haven't read it. But I was like, if you're going to make that, you get all those guys to do it, right? But I still hated the idea of it. But Rebirth is what sold me on Doomsday Clock, because he actually surprised me to a level that I hadn't been since reading Watchmen the first time. So I was just really intrigued by what he was doing to rework the DC universe. So I kind of like Doomsday Clock on what it's going to do to the DC universe, and I still consider Watchmen its own thing. Like, the actual book is separate. But, like, I think this is an interesting way to go. And I wonder what he's going to do with it, because, like, it's still very mysterious. I don't know if you guys are reading it at all.
All I know is, I am. Doomsday Clock is phenomenal.
Yeah.
All I know is that between this and Metal, I really don't like how many delays these DC mini event books have been getting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, do you know, it's been almost 2 months since the last issue of Doomsday Clock, and well over a month since in between the penultimate and final issue of Metal. I
didn't ever pick up Metal. I still don't know.
See, you would love Metal because you like the high concept stuff.
Yeah. I probably would. But I just couldn't get my head around it.
So, Matt, I figure what we can do today.
Yes.
We can talk about all the books we've read this month.
Okay.
Like going forward, we'll take a week and we'll talk about everything we read that week to kind of refresh.
Almost like a rebirth.
A reboot. An all new, all different NOLA Nerd Comics team.
Well, in that case, we need to replace you with a woman.
Oh.
Sorry.
Can I just become a minority?
No, we're going to have a woman minority character take your name and be the new Chris Robinson. I know we could just make a new character, but it's a legacy thing.
Yeah, it's because you have a ginger beard and all redheads need to be replaced with black women.
That is true.
Fun. And you know what? It'd probably be very entertaining for about two months.
Yeah. Well, that's about the attention span before we reboot again, so it's fine.
Yes. So, Matt, what did you get this week?
This week, Chris, let me tell you. First of all, Archie Diamond did not deliver, so I did not get Archie.
Okay. I got it. It's still pretty good.
Good to know. I got Green Lanterns.
I thought you were dropping Green Lanterns.
I was at least giving them to the end of their respective arcs.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you about Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
Green Lantern is my favorite comic, like superhero. Jeff Johns revitalized the series, and pre-Rebirth, the guy that took the reins from him did a competent job of continuing. But the Rebirth series has really not engaged me as much, and I find myself I'm buying the Green Lantern books because they're Green Lantern books and not because I actually love what I'm reading, and that makes me sad. It does. But the reality is, if I drop Green Lantern, I could take a stab at another book that I might enjoy more. And I don't know, it's an end of an era. I own, oh God, New 52 was when, Chris?
Oh God, like 7 years ago.
And that was and I was reading it before that.
Yeah, you were reading Blackest Night, which was about 10 years ago.
And then actually my first thing was Green Lantern Rebirth, which was after Katrina.
So that was
during Katrina. So yeah, 13 years I've been reading Green Lantern comics, and I own them all. And so it hurts to stop. Like, it feels dirty. but they're also just not good comics anymore.
What ruined it? Was it Night Thrasher Green Lantern with the gun?
Oh, you mean Guy Gardner? No, he's freaking awesome.
No, Guy Gardner. The redhead one.
Simon Baz.
Night Thrasher.
Great.
Literal Night Thrasher costume, but green.
I loved him. He was a great addition. No, it's these current stories have no stakes. And they're just I just feel like they're spinning the wheels. And if I look back at when Green Lantern started 43 issues ago during Rebirth, and I look now, the two characters, Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz, have there's no change. Like, I could have not read any of these 43 issues and then picked up the next book and been like, okay, cool. This is exactly what happened at the end of Convergence.
It feels like to me, Green Lantern and Superman and a couple other books have always felt like you need the exact right writers. Otherwise, like, some people get the characters and some people don't. And most people don't. Like, anybody can write a Flash comic. Jeff Johns can write a better Flash comic than you. But anybody can write about a guy who runs fast and make it interesting. Green Lantern has the power of imagination, which is kind of like writing writer's block into the plot. And it's space cops, and you think that anybody could write it, but I've mostly found that 4 people have written Green Lantern comics that were really good.
Yeah.
And they wrote them for a really long time.
And you know what? It was the best era was when Jeff Johns was writing Green Lanterns, and then Peter Tomasi was writing Green Lantern Corps. And the two series worked in parallel but would constantly cross over. And the first time they did it was the incredible Sinestro Corps War. And then that led into Blackest Night, which led into Brightest Day. And just it was hit after hit of Green Lantern event books. And it just never the stakes kept ratcheting up, and it was the kind of book where you would be like, holy shit, what's gonna happen next? Like, the wait for the next book sucked. Yeah. Now it's like I get a book and I'm like, all right, I guess the new Green Lantern this week.
Well, that feels
I think that's also part of the Green Lantern problem, is that the stakes were so high for so long that when the stakes kind of ratchet down from end of everything, end of the universe, well, they're fine.
Well, no, but see, the problem with that theory is the post Jeff Johns guy, Vendetti, he had lower stakes, but the books were still good. Not Jeff Johns level, but not like
Well, you can keep the personal stakes up, and then it's interesting. It's just as interesting.
Also, the books have completely like dropped the different spectrums of the cores. Like, Blue Lanterns are gone, Red Lanterns are gone. The Sinestro Corps joined with the Green Lanterns, so the Yellow Lanterns are gone. Larfleeze is nowhere to be seen. He was the best.
Wasn't there
He's busy.
The idea that, like, why are there so many human Green Lanterns? I never heard anything.
Yeah, they were supposed to expand on that. We were supposed to find out why, like, they teased it, that Earth is such a nexus for everything coming together in the universe that our sector got more lanterns. But
for a second, I thought it was really, that was the thing leading up to Doomsday Clock, because I really thought, who could fight in Manhattan other than basically the entire Green Lantern Corps? And then it was Superman versus, like, I feel like that fight isn't going to go well for Superman, but whatever.
Superboy Prime fucked up the Corps something fierce.
All right. But was that just because Manhattan wrote that? Anyway, Dr. Manhattan is Chris Jones. That's the twist.
Okay. So, Chris, what else? What did you read? You want to go like ping pong, or should I just go through my list?
Let's ping pong.
All right.
I'm continuing Batman. Adjectiveless Batman. I really like. One of my favorite things about this Batman run is that pretty early on they were like, Batman is going to get married, and we're going to spend a couple of issues working over all of his issues with Catwoman, having them go on adventures. And this Poison Ivy story is really kind of sweet for a story in which Poison Ivy took over the entire world, and kind of Batman had to kind of work his way out of it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Batman and Superman. Both are are very similar in that they're kind of lower stakes books that kind of really get back to the core of Batman and Superman, and they're quite a lot of fun to flip through. And I'm gonna be sad when we get back to.
I gotta say, and Mikhail Janin's art is just stellar.
Yes, he did about half of the issue, and it's very great.
Wait, half the issue?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, no, it was a nice 3-part arc, and next issue is the one everyone's excited about because it's the wedding of Catwoman and Batman.
Plus, when the Joker figures out that what's happening.
Yeah, and the Joker can't allow Batman to be happy, so we'll see how that goes.
It's gonna go great. It's gonna go great.
I'm also reading Nightwing.
Best Button Comics confirmed.
Oh, fact. No, but my only issue, I mean, not issue, but I've actually really enjoyed Nightwing ever since he moved to Bloodhaven. And so it's his like solo adventures with a new cast of characters. So.
Where was it go? It's so cute.
What?
What?
Who'd you say?
We were talking about also Shadowcat and Colossus are getting married, probably because it's a reaction to one or it's a reaction to the other.
And I was like, oh, that's cute.
And I was like,
Weddings and marriages in comics tend to not last very long because happiness doesn't sell. Like Shadowcat and Colossus, Storm and Black Panther, Mary Jane and Spider-Man.
It's so weird because as you'll recall when we were reading X-Men, Kitty and Colossus broke up, and then it was Kitty and Bobby, and that didn't turn out great. And then it was Kitty and Star-Lord, which I thought kind of had legs, and that
was an awesome pairing. But at least Marvel lets them get married. Remember when DC was like, no, Batwoman can't get gay married. Nope, murder that.
murder.
And she has no sense.
And then that decision cost Batwoman its writer. Like the author dropped the book and quit DC because of that.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Sure.
Chris,
yes.
Are you reading Miss Marvel?
Of course I am.
The greatest, the new age Spider-Man.
Yeah, I really appreciate that G. Willow Wilson had to write the thing where Carol and Miss Marvel meet up, and she's like, "I thought you hated me after the Civil War," and Carol had to be like, "Oh, I don't hate."
War II, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, she's like, "I thought you were really pissed at me," and she's like, "No, you're fine. We're all okay. Status quo is reset."
Can I just point out, I don't know if you get the next issue thing on your digital comics, but the next issue cover has such an Archie vibe.
Yes.
I am all about that.
I did get that, and I am very excited.
I am feeling that something first.
Yes. But Miss Marvel's been kind of great all the way through, so.
Facts. All right, go.
So as I just talked about Batman, I'm going to talk about Superman. This whole run of Superman has been about the family: Superman, his son, and Lois, trying to make life work while trying to teach his son the things that make him Superman.
Chris, let me ask you something real quick about Superman.
Yeah, sure.
If it's about the family, then what about their cousin Bizarro?
Well, here's the problem, because these last two issues have been about Bizarro and Boy Bizarro and Bizarre Lois kind of showing up in our world. And
you know how much you love Bizarro.
There's something that I can't stand. There's two things I can't stand in comics. Number one is Man-Bat. I fucking hate him. Number two is Bizarro speak.
I loved Man-Bat only in the animated series.
So, Chris, what you're saying is Chris love Bizarro speak?
Yeah, I love Bizarro speak.
No, it's me love Bizarro speak.
Me love Bizarro speak. Me want to read Bizarro speak forever.
You know, the best thing Bizarro ever did was have a homage in Wanted.
Yes.
What was his name? Fuckface?
Yeah, something like that. And then Mark Millar had to take it too far.
Yeah, took it way too far. But
he always does. But you know what? It's fine. It's what he does.
Have you been reading Kick-Ass 2?
No, not a chance.
Okay.
Kick-Ass 3?
Not Kick-Ass 2, yeah, 3. Sorry, the reboot.
Yeah, he read 2, and 2 sucked.
He's had a couple of books where he doesn't go too far, and you find out he's a good writer.
Yeah, it's very nice.
That was with Chrononauts and Huck.
Yeah. Those two books.
Chrononauts scraped the surface of being too far.
But then it wouldn't do it.
Yes.
The Kingsman movie almost didn't do it. Then it had that ass joke at the end that didn't make any goddamn sense. Anyway.
Yeah, well. All right, so that's Superman. What else you got, Matt?
Well, we're not going to talk about it out of respect for Josh, but the newest issue of Killer Be Killed.
Pretty great.
Oh, man, it's so good. Also, I will say this about this issue just because it's hilarious. The issue starts with them being like, yeah, so remember what happened last issue? You won't believe what happens next. Oh, wait. And then he goes off on a tangent, and the story is all a tangent. And then it ends with, oh, shit, I forgot to tell you about that thing. See you next time.
Yeah, that was my favorite reveal because the whole story is pretty great, and then at the end it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about this other really important.
Yeah, he was like, shit, I forgot to tell you. Oh well, we'll have to wait for next time.
Seriously important stuff. Killer Be Killed, still pretty great.
How many other books did you read this week, Chris?
Just a couple. Only one more that I want to talk about.
All right.
Because some of them I just read just for me. But the last one I want to talk about is The Brave and the Bold Batman and Wonder Woman. Have you been reading this?
I have not.
So it's Liam Sharp drawing and writing, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, very lush book. I'm gonna try to pull up a page or so for you, and it takes place in an era we don't see a whole ton of, which is Irish and UK mythology. As Wonder Woman and Batman kind of have to, what's the word? Not negotiate, kind of judge one of these fairy courts and protect humanity, and it's really, really well done. And I think it's absolutely worth your time to kind of look at it and at least from an artistic perspective.
All right.
So yeah.
Word.
Yes. That's all the books that I kind of wanted to talk about.
All right. Well, I have 3 more, but I'm just going to rapid fire them because you don't read them.
Okay.
Outcast by Kirkman.
Yeah.
Still going. Monstrous. Still the best looking book on the newsstand. The art by Sana Takeda is just absolutely insane. I can't tell if it's painted or not.
Very gorgeous.
Everything is so intricate. The amount of detail that goes into everything from the tables to the doors to the backgrounds. It's cray boo. Cray crizzle. Cray crizzle. And then, speaking of gorgeous books, hey Chris, we finally find out why the book's called Descender.
Why is it called Descender, Matt?
We meet the Descenders.
Who are they?
The machine race that tried to wipe out humanity 10 years ago that started the whole book. We found out why they attacked humanity, and it's all that the asshole scientist, his grandfather's fault. Also, this whole book is watercolor, and it's so awesome.
That's Dustin Nguyen, right?
Yeah, Dustin Nguyen. He did Little Gotham. Josh, what do you think of this? I know you like art, so I'm trying to show you art.
Yeah, that looks great.
Is that a Sentinel? What's happening there? That's the Descenders.
That's the Descendant.
So yeah, we find out that the guy that first created artificial life and robotics in the machine race, he learned it from them because he was granted entry to their society. And then when he came back and started building robots, they found out that he was building them as slave labor and what we assume robots and machines are. But they didn't rise up. The Descenders came and was like, this was all a test, and boy, did humanity really fuck this one up.
Huh.
So it was pretty cool. It was like that moment where Peter in the movie theater gasps and giggles every time they say the name of the movie.
Yes.
But it wasn't until I read the line that they were called the Descenders that I was like, the book's called Descender. I just took it for granted that the book was called Descender and never once questioned why.
Yeah.
So, womp womp. Those are all my books.
I feel like I'm still waiting for them to say trees.
I can't wait for the guy to go, boy, that sure was a Black Monday murder.
Who watches the Doomsday Clock?
I'm surprised that hasn't already been said. Since I've got your ear on comics, I want to talk briefly about the ComiXology sales and some things people may want to keep an eye out for.
Okay.
Oh, don't sound so sad.
No, I'm just saying because it's ComiXology and they're scrapping their pull list.
Yeah, I know. It's done.
And I don't know how I'm going to plan my comic purchases now. That was like the best thing ever.
Just Google it.
But
just Google. There's other resources
on Amazon. You use it to find out what you're going to buy somewhere else, and it's probably not helping them very much.
Just Matt. There's other resources. You just have to Google it, buddy.
Just tell us what you're going to tell us.
Just Google it.
Oh, well, don't be salted at me because you have an issue.
I'm salty.
Don't be.
Salty AF.
I'm salty AF, though.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things on sale on ComiXology for the discerning comic book personality. If you want to catch up, for example, you heard Matt talk about Fables. If you're interested, every trade of Fables is $5.99.
Oh my God, that is amazing. Did you know Saki never finished reading Fables?
That doesn't surprise me.
Makes me very sad.
But in addition to every major trade, every side trade, Cinderella, Ferris, the Encyclopedia.
But what about Jack?
Jack is on there as well.
All right.
So if you want to get the Fables experience, this is the best time to purchase them on ComiXology because DC Comics rarely drop below $5 on it. If you're interested in this Infinity War thing that's coming, it's got a trailer. It has Captain America fighting a dude. It's pretty great. You can get the Infinity Gauntlet, the one that started it all, for $4. The most recent Infinity storyline, Infinity War, Infinity Crusade, the Thanos solo series, the whole 9 yards, available currently on sale on ComiXology. And finally, personally, because we've seen some pictures, there's a Shazam sale.
Nice.
So the majority of it is the new Shazam, the new Billy Batson kind of dickhead Shazam. But there's also some stuff like Jeff Smith's Shazam and the Monster Society of Evil. They have the individual issues of the Power of Shazam from the mid-90s, which kind of rebooted him. It's well worth checking this out and appreciating Shazam the way he should be.
What's your favorite comic interpretation of Shazam?
My favorite is when he showed up in the Justice Society of America, the JSA.
That is the correct answer.
It was my favorite. My favorite moment was that he, 16-year-old Billy Batson was really interested in 16-year-old Courtney Whitmore, but he kept talking to her as Captain Marvel. And Jake Garrick was like, "You are way too old to be hitting on this teenager."
Even though he was actually like a year younger than her, because no one else knew his secret identity,
and he couldn't tell them because the wisdom of Solomon said, "You can't tell anyone the truth."
Yeah, so he's sitting there like getting the older teammates on the team are about to slap him with a pedophile lawsuit and kick him off the team for being really sexually inappropriate. And he's like, "Gee willikers, Stargirl, you sure are keen." And they're like, "Slow your roll there, creepy. You haven't yet grown in your pencil mustache."
Yeah, it's one of my favorite little side stories, even though it sucks for poor Billy. He did not do well towards the end of the first DC universe.
No.
Yeah, he lost his powers, became the wizard.
His sister became evil.
Oh, she was so evil.
Remember Dark, what was her name? Black Marvel? Dark Marvel?
Yeah, Black Lady Marvel. I forget.
Yeah.
It was not great. It was not a good time.
No.
It could be worse. He could have been Miracle Man.
It's true.
Womp womp.
I didn't get a chance to talk about Mr. Miracle last week because we were not showing last week. But that whole issue was just Big Barda giving birth to their son. And it was delightful.
Okay.
Because the female Furies came in and were like, this hospital's too soft. They used to hold you under the fire waterfall of Apocalypse. And Granny Goodness used to yell at you.
Yeah. Poor Granny Goodness.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's still alive in other comics.
Is Granny God? I don't know.
I don't either. I'm assuming so. I'm assuming that Mr. Miracle takes place in a subverse where things happen, but it may not really be happening because I think Mr. Miracle is now a High Father.
Is he?
And is waging war on Apocalypse.
All right.
So I don't know how true that all is.
Sure. All right.
Yeah. So is there any kind of game stuff you want to talk about?
Only one thing. But no, I know Josh wants to talk about it, so we'll keep it quick just because the show's running a little long.
Sure.
But Josh,
What?
we got some information about a major game coming out later this year, didn't we?
Yes.
Comes out in just under a month now.
It does.
You want to talk about God of War?
Oh my fucking god, yeah.
Well, I mean,
We're not gonna.
We're not.
But we want to.
Oh my god.
So I saw the gameplay video for God of War.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's astoundingly meaty.
It's beautiful. It's
the combat is so visceral looking, like it feels impactful.
I like that the whole thing doesn't cut like ever. You're just in a one shot.
Yes.
That's pretty great.
it's beautiful. It's
And they've gotten us all excited. And like as we were watching another video and pointed out that we haven't even seen a god in this God of War.
yeah.
Other than Kratos, it's just Kratos walking around shouting.
Yeah, we've seen like the snake of.
Not a god though.
No, we haven't seen any Greek gods. And you know what? I think that's kind of fascinating.
The world snake is not a god.
They've kept so much secret in this game. We don't even know what the plot is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All we know right now is Kratos is trying to show his son, his new kid, like the ropes. Take him hunting. That's all we've ever seen.
And then shit gets real in the North world.
But how? Why? We don't know. How did he even get into the Greek world? We don't know. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
How
kid
did we transition from, I'm sorry, not Greek. How did we transition from Greek to Norse?
Easy.
Yeah.
You just travel north.
Oh my God. That's a meat joke. You know, before they went Norse, there was a rumor that they were going to go Egyptian. And I thought that was pretty fucking cool. And who knows, maybe they can.
They might have been avoiding Origins though. The overlap would have been.
Yeah, because you do. Yeah, because you would add a lot of Egyptian.
No, but I'm talking these rumors were back when God of War 3 came out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, way long ago.
But at the end of the day, this God of War looks amazing, and I really feel bad for anybody who just is dedicated to Microsoft, because I see another year going to Sony. Like, no, I know you're going, what does Microsoft have to offer this year?
A lot.
Like what?
Well, Sea of Thieves came out and is now beating PUBG and Fortnite on streaming services.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Look, Josh, I understand you don't care, but you have to accept.
I care. I'm caring about right now. I'm caring about single games.
I think for me, PlayStation still wins this year, but E3 is looking real surprising for Microsoft. The rumors of the deals they've pulled, crazy.
What's Cyberpunk coming out on?
Everything. But Microsoft is almost 100% likely to get the exclusive marketing rights and extra content or whatever.
Yeah. Also,
we just found out that Cyberpunk will be the first cross-gen game. As in, whatever the next PlayStation and Xbox are called, it'll be on that and PS4 and Xbox One.
We're already talking about the next PlayStation? Oh my god.
It just came out, didn't it?
It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It came out in 2013.
Maybe I've just been inundated with announcements for the next one.
Yeah.
So long that I think it's out.
It's because the Pro and the One X kind of throw off your perception.
Yeah.
I don't know. This God of War game looks great. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just like right now, like at the end of the day, Sony is killing it when it comes to single player games.
Yes.
And their story-based games are just fantastic. And right
this year we're getting God of War.
Yeah.
Next month, February was Shadow of the Colossus. March is MLB The Show. I'm just talking exclusives.
Yeah.
Next month is God of War. May is Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, I was gonna say didn't they get bumped up?
And then later this year we have Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's huge. And then another piece of news is that they delayed Days Gone to next year, which I think is genius because you're not going to release it again in the holidays and compete against Red Dead Redemption 2.
So are we looking at like a PlayStation 5 2020?
That is the rumor.
Okay.
That's what people are banking on. PlayStation, like later this year, we'll probably get the first tease. E3 2019, we might get like the first we might get 2019 the first announcement of it, and then 2020 it'll release like holiday 2020.
Because I don't want to see any bullshit where Bethesda comes out and they're like, oh, new Elder Scrolls, but on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox 49.
Speaking of that, you might be sad. Rumors of an exclusive Bethesda's new IP is exclusive to Xbox. Starfield, their new RPG. So, by the makers of Elder Scrolls and Fallout, Starfield,
which is going to be ported over.
And also computer, so you'll be able to play it on your computer.
But it's also going to go. It's not going to be exclusive for too long.
No, unless Microsoft, the rumor of them publishing it is true.
Yeah.
So we'll find out at E3.
We'll find out at E3 because at the end of the day, that's all we got.
But no, this is going to be a great E3. Also, I want to quickly go over, if you don't mind, the NPD news for February. Monster Hunter World was the #1 game for the second month in a row. The biggest news, though, is PlayStation 4 sold the most in February, but the Switch, now that it's been out for exactly 1 year, has sold the most of any console in the history of video games in its first 12 months.
Oh, Switch is killer.
Switch, it's insane. It's already up to 12 million. And that's coming off of the PlayStation 4, which was the previous fastest selling system of all time. It's crazy. It's a good time to play comics or play games based on comics. I don't know. Hey, Chris.
Yes.
I love you. I beat Assassin's Creed Origins all 100%.
I'm very proud of you.
I did all the DLC too.
Was that not a really enjoyable game?
Oh my God, it was so good. Like, I just finished the Curse of the Pharaohs DLC, which came out Tuesday. Or last Tuesday.
Yeah.
That was amazing too.
Yeah. I haven't played it yet. I've been playing Nioh way too much. Because
Woo! Buddy, get on that Curse of the Pharaohs DLC.
I can wait. I got time. That's the thing.
But I want to talk to you about it.
Okay, fine, then I'll play it.
First of all, Bayek is amazing. Bayek and Aya are easily the best.
Great.
Is Bay.
Great. This Assassin's Creed is amazing. It's
Yep.
They did everything right.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. They benefited so greatly from skipping a year and going and not having it come out every year like they usually did. The extra time spent on it was very noticeable. And I really hope that they do the same thing. I hope they don't go back into an annualized entry. Like, I'm worried this E3 they'll be like, and Assassin's Creed Greece, because Greece was leaked as the location for the next one. I really don't want it to come out this year. I don't want it to be like, and we're using the AC Origins engine and we're just recycling everything again. And I don't think it'll be as good.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Also, I'm kind of bummed it's Greece because I felt Greece was so prominent in AC Origins, even though you never went there, but the Greeks were everywhere.
Yeah.
I just want them to finally bring us to Japan. Like, I want a goddamn ninja assassin. So much to ask. Is it really so much to ask?
Yes, apparently it is.
Well, you can always play Ninja Assassin.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Anyway, yeah. Switch, Nintendo had a very brief, like 10-minute indie game showcase where they debuted a bunch of new games coming to the Switch. And the most interesting, I think, is the entire Banner Saga trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, are hitting the Switch.
Oh, cool.
If you're not familiar, Banner Saga being that Norse-based strategy RPG series by the makers of Mass Effect.
When's 3 supposed to come out?
3 comes out this summer.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good fucking game.
That was the most interesting part of that Nintendo Indie Direct.
Yeah, just because it was the biggest surprise. That, and I think for me, the Lumines Remastered, which is also coming to PS4 and Xbox and computer, but
who cares?
Lumines has always been a portable game.
God, imagine how many hours of your life you're gonna waste out in public playing Lumines again.
Oh, I'm just gonna put it on Shining on loop.
Jesus, I can't deal with this Lumines news. Lumines almost made me lose my goddamn mind when it first came out.
It was the reason to own a PSP for like the entire first year of the PSP.
Yes. I remember borrowing one from the store we worked at to play Lumines on break.
Yeah. Oh, God, it was so good.
And then not selling it because Lumines.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for the week. Sea of Thieves just came out. Ni no Kuni comes out this Friday. Also comes out this Friday is the game A Way Out, that 2-player co-op prison break game.
Oh yeah.
And it's notable because if one person buys the game, you can then share it with anybody on co-op online, and they can play with you throughout the full game without having to buy it themselves.
Oh, that's nice.
Because the game is required co-op. There's no play it with a computer. It's you have to play with another human. So it has couch co-op and online co-op, and to mitigate that, you can play with anybody as long as you own a copy. So if I wanted to play Prison Break the game with Josh or Chris, you wouldn't have to buy it.
I appreciate that.
It's even better that it's a budget title. It's $29.99, and only one person has to buy it. And I think it looks really cool.
Okay, cool.
And then, of course, next Tuesday is Far Cry 5.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be good, son. Get that co-op.
Saki gonna play.
No, I know. I can't do this anymore. I'm done.
That's what you said last.
It's a big month. Like, the March is crazy, and then I don't even know.
It's that God of War.
Yep, God of War is going to be huge.
Yeah.
And Yakuza.
Oh, yeah, Yakuza comes out the same week as God of War. Yakuza 6.
I want to tell you. I didn't know if we get to tell us on the podcast. I got the leaked demo, which was the full game.
And
Yeah, they accidentally put the full game out and labeled it as a demo when it first released, and I hadn't made it to my PlayStation yet, and Chris got it. And how many chapters were you able to play before they
I made it to chapter 5.
That's insane. It was only supposed to be the first chapter.
Well, yeah, because I started playing it, and I was like, I wasn't doing any side quests. I was just doing story missions because I was just getting the feel for it, and it just kept going. And I was like, man, how long is this demo? He's like, well, what chapter? And I was like, I'm on chapter 4. It's like, oh, you got the whole game. Of course, by the time, of course, I stopped playing, and I came back, and it was locked out. But whenever it comes out, I've got a big head start, I hope. Can I tell you my gaming travails, Matt?
Please.
So we're hanging out with the guys, and we're shooting the shit, and we're talking about Dead Island. You remember Dead Island?
Everyone remembers Dead Island.
The not good zombie game that was made much better into Dying Light. So we're chit-chatting about it, and it's like $5 on Xbox Live, and we're like, man, it'd be really fun to kind of go back and replay it. And everyone's like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's all just buy it and just replay it. So we're trying to replay it, and this game has had the least effort put into any game for a remaster that I've ever seen in my life. We cannot connect 4 people to a game. We can connect 3 people to a game, and the 4th person is like, no, fuck you.
Let's do 3.
And we've gone through, we've rebooted every modem, we've reset every system, and the game's just like, you can only do 3 people. Don't do 4. We're not ready for 4.
That's sad.
That is sad. It's kind of sad.
Oh well.
I mean, it's Dead Island, so it's not like so sad.
It's not that bad. It's just
a little sad.
It's upsetting.
I mean, a little bit. Anything else, Matt?
Yes, I just want to point out that I got Saki into a certain game. And also, I found out that the 3DS also had a new version, so I downloaded it. It's the 10th Picross game on the 3DS. Actually, I'm sorry, the 12th Picross game. And she's playing the new Switch version that I beat last year. Saki is now addicted to Picross, so...
Wow. Looks like Tetris.
So good. So good.
God, what type of autism spectrum are you on?
Hey!
That's not nice.
Chris is just mad because he can't play because it's too difficult for him.
No, I'm not mad at all. I don't want to be part of your stupid cult.
Chris, you can't be part of the cult if you don't try. And everyone should go buy Nino Kuni 2 coming out this Friday. Get it in your veins. I have 2 steel books for it.
Why do you have 2 steel books for it?
Well, they gave out one at Anime Expo last year.
Oh, that's
at
nice.
the Bandai booth. If you went and played the demo, they gave you a free steel book.
Oh,
and
nice.
this is the one that just came with the collector's edition.
Okay. All right.
All right, nerd.
Douchebag.
So I don't know why there's 2, but I don't care. Now I have 2 steel books.
Okay, cool.
My copy was just mailed out, so.
And I'm still playing Neo.
In chat, Yu Wong just asked, have I gotten the Twilight Princess Picross? The answer is yes. And the Pokemon Picross. And the Game Boy downloadable version of the original Mario's Picross. And DS Picross. And Picross 3D. And Picross 3D 2. And Picross E1 through E8, which is the
Oh my god, can we just end this podcast?
Picross and then Picross S on the Switch.
Podcast Picross?
Picross.
Picross squared.
We're playing it now.
NOLAnerdcast.
All right, well, that's time to end the show. All right, guys. Good night.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Next week, usual time.
Peace.
Right.
Hopefully earlier.
Yep.
It's good.